Listen closely, my beloved soul. Something is approaching you faster than you realize, and you can feel it in your spirit before anything touches the physical world. Do not click away. Do not ignore the pull you feel right now. There is a reason these words found you the moment they did. There is a reason your heart paused as if it recognizes something before your mind does. Tomorrow is not a date on a calendar. Tomorrow is a doorway. A shift. A spiritual arrival. And the one who comes is not arriving with fear, but with clarity. Not with chaos, but with awakening. Not with pressure, but with divine alignment that whispers, "You are ready now." Something inside you already knows. There has been a subtle tension in your chest, a sensation like lightning waiting for permission to strike. You felt the restless energy in your thoughts, the quiet awareness in your breath, the way time feels different, almost as if the universe is inhaling with you, preparing to exhale something into your life. My beloved soul, this is not panic. This is recognition. Your spirit isn't afraid. Your spirit is preparing. You are not being warned. You are being positioned. You have walked through seasons where nothing moved. You have prayed into silence, questioned shadows, waited for answers that never arrived in the form you expected. Those moments did not abandon you. They were shaping you. Patience ripened your intuition. Disappointment sharpened your discernment. Unanswered prayers evolved into inner authority. You became someone who can carry what is coming without collapsing beneath it. You do not even realize how much you have grown, because growth feels like survival when you're in it. Listen, and listen carefully. Tomorrow is not a threat. It is recognition. It is the moment where what you felt finally meets what you receive. It is where the internal becomes external. Where intention becomes experience. Where belief becomes structure. You are not stepping into something random. You are stepping into something earned. Do not rush. Do not anticipate. Do not try to predict meaning. Control is not your preparation, openness is. Perfection is not your readiness, trust is. The only thing you must do now is remain present enough to notice what others will overlook. Most people miss their blessings because they expect thunder. But revelation often arrives like breath. Soft. Quiet. Certain. If you feel the urge to clean your space, pay attention. If you feel pulled to rest, listen. If your thoughts feel louder than usual, do not fight it. The soul reorganizes itself before alignment. It makes room before arrival. It removes what can't survive in the next chapter. You may find yourself letting go of objects, habits, routines, even memories, and you won't fully know why. That is spiritual instinct. Your spirit knows what leaves before the mind knows what comes. Tomorrow may not roar. It may whisper. It may arrive in a message, a moment of clarity, a sudden calm. It may arrive in a realization that you don't have to fight anymore. It may arrive as a conversation that confirms what you felt but could never prove. It may arrive as an ending that frees you, or as a beginning so gentle you don't notice it until after it has already anchored itself into your reality. What matters is not what tomorrow looks like. What matters is who you are when it arrives. Be someone who receives, not someone who resists. This is how you prepare. Breathe slower. Think softer. Stop narrating nightmares about outcomes that don't exist. You do not manifest clarity by imagining chaos. You do not receive blessings by rehearsing disappointment. Let the old thoughts crumble. They cannot come with you. They were built for survival, not expansion. They kept you alive, but they cannot help you thrive. Do not mourn them, outgrow them. Repeat this to your spirit: I will not sabotage what I prayed for. You do not need to prove yourself tomorrow. You do not need to outperform your past. You only need to allow. Allow peace. Allow clarity. Allow the blessing that doesn't require suffering to earn. You have already paid the cost. Now comes the return. My beloved soul, if your heart feels heavy, let the weight fall. If you feel tears rise, let them come. That is release. That is readiness. That is the last layer of resistance dissolving. Heaven does not scream. Heaven confirms quietly. And if you feel that confirmation right now, know this: you are not imagining it. Something is responding to you. Move like someone who expects to receive. Breathe like someone who trusts the timing. Stand like someone who has already been chosen. And if these words resonate, if they pull at your spirit like a memory you haven't lived yet, let this be the moment you silently declare to yourself, I am ready. Stay here with me. Don't look away. Breathe, my beloved soul. Something within you is unlocking even as you listen. A door you once believed was sealed has begun to open, not with noise, but with inevitability. Tomorrow is not an event. It is a recognition that the version of you who once begged for answers has finally become someone who can hold them. You are not preparing for a moment, the moment is preparing for you. Do not underestimate the power of quiet transformation. Lives change in whispers long before they ever change in circumstances. You have already shifted, the world is simply catching up. There is a reason your spirit feels like it is standing at the edge of something indescribable. Not fear. Not anxiety. Anticipation without shape. A feeling that does not speak in sentences, but in instincts. The universe has been rearranging without your permission, removing what drains you, releasing what delays you, and untangling what distracts you. And even though you resisted at times, even though confusion made you doubt yourself, your soul never stopped walking toward this point. This is why you must not run now. Hold still. Hold steady. Let what is coming find you without being chased. Tomorrow is not testing your faith. Tomorrow is proving it. You learned patience without applause. You healed wounds without witnesses. You grew in silence, while others misread your stillness as failure. They did not know the ground was being broken beneath you, roots forming, foundations strengthening. They did not see the battles you fought in private, the nights where you held yourself together with nothing but breath, prayer, and the hope that someday would make sense. Beloved soul, someday is becoming today. You do not need to be loud to be victorious. Some victories are so sacred they arrive wrapped in silence. Pay attention to how you respond tomorrow. You may notice that you no longer grasp for clarity, clarity simply arrives. You may realize you no longer seek validation, your peace validates itself. You may see situations appear again, not to break you, but to reveal that you are no longer breakable in the same way. What once triggered you will feel distant. What once controlled you will lose its grip. This is not numbness. This is evolution. Inner authority. Spiritual maturity disguised as calm. If your chest feels light, that is confirmation. If your mind feels clearer, that is preparation. If something you feared suddenly feels small, that is sovereignty being restored to you. Do not ignore signs because they are gentle. Gentleness is often how heaven declares completion. And listen carefully, you do not need to announce your shift. You do not need to perform your healing for witnesses. Growth is still growth even without an audience. You owe no one a presentation of your progress. What is happening within you is between you and the divine. Some transformations are too holy to be narrated out loud. There will be a moment tomorrow, perhaps brief, perhaps lingering, where something inside you whispers, "This is it." Trust that whisper. Trust that pause. Trust that moment when your soul exhales as if it recognizes home. You will not need to push. You will not need to chase. What is aligned will arrive with direction, not confusion. What carries purpose will carry peace. And what is not meant for you will fall away without negotiation. Release is not loss. Release is alignment. My beloved soul, from this point forward, move like someone who remembers who they are, not like someone trying to prove it. When you speak, speak from grounded clarity. When you choose, choose from intuition, not fear. When you feel, feel fully without apologizing for the depth of your inner world. You are not too much. You are finally enough for the destiny you've grown into. And because of that, tomorrow cannot pass you by. It can only meet you. You may feel guided to rest tonight, to place your phone down, to sit in silence, to choose softness. Trust that. Rest is not avoidance. Rest is preparation. Calm is not weakness. Calm is spiritual technology. Do not confuse peace with passivity. To be calm before arrival is to declare readiness. To be still before breakthrough is to demonstrate faith. And if you feel the urge to whisper something, not loudly, not dramatically, let it be this: I am ready for what is already mine. If your hands feel different, if your breathing feels slower, if something in your chest feels like it is finally unclenching, that is the soul loosening its grip on the past. Let it unravel. Let it fall away. Let what once hurt you lose its right to continue. You do not heal by holding. You heal by releasing your grip on what can no longer serve where you are going. And listen, before we continue deeper, if this message feels like it is speaking to you, not at you, pause for a moment and honor that. It is no accident you found this. It is no accident you stayed. The algorithm of heaven does not miss. If your spirit recognizes these words, allow your support to be an offering of agreement. Whisper yes in your heart. Breathe yes into your ribs. And if you feel led, subscribe or follow as a declaration to yourself, I am choosing alignment now. Not as a transaction. As a spiritual signature. Tomorrow is the doorway. Today is the inhale. Stay with me. Do not look away now. And now, beloved soul, something deeper must be said. Tomorrow is not a miracle being handed to you. It is a mirror being shown to you. Not a rescue. A recognition. A reflection of everything you became when nobody was applauding, when nobody understood, when even you questioned if you had lost your way. Heaven did not deny you. Heaven delayed you until you could see yourself clearly enough to receive from clarity instead of desperation. Desperation demands. Readiness receives. Feel the difference in your bones. One grasps. The other allows. One chases. The other attracts. One panics. The other prepares. You have lived in the space between those two energies for a long time, but now you are crossing the threshold. You are no longer praying from survival. You are praying from identity. This is why tomorrow matters. Because tomorrow responds to who you are now, not who you were before the healing happened. There will be a moment when your mind tries to resurrect the old narratives. What if it doesn't work? What if I'm not enough? What if nothing changes? Do not entertain these ghosts. They do not belong to your future. They are souvenirs from a life you no longer live. You are not obligated to believe every thought that visits you. Freedom begins where unquestioned thoughts end. So question them. Interrogate them. Ask every doubt, who sent you? Who do you serve? What future are you asking me to lose? Most fear cannot survive being seen. If confusion tries to cloud your vision tomorrow, pause before reacting. A moment of silence is more powerful than 1,000 impulsive words. Do not rush clarity. Let clarity arrive. The universe is not late. The universe is precise. You only call things late when you expect them before you're ready. Some people will not understand your shift. They will not see what changed, because the change is internal, not theatrical. You owe them no explanations. You owe them no access. You owe them no performance of the self you outgrew to make them comfortable. The people who are meant to walk with you will recognize your new frequency without needing a translation. The ones who cannot may fall away. That is not loss. That is alignment. You are not abandoning them. You are simply no longer abandoning yourself to keep them. If you wake tomorrow and feel a heaviness, don't fear it. Heaviness is often the threshold of release. It means the old story is taking its final breath. Stay present. Breathe through it. The weight will lift when the lesson does. If you wake and feel light, honor that too. Lightness is a sign you are no longer negotiating for your own future. It is a sign that what is arriving is not a punishment or a test, but a delivery. Let the delivery come. My beloved soul, this is where many people sabotage themselves. They stand on the edge of a blessing and look backward. They stand at the door of alignment and rehearse rejection. Do not do that. Do not become a historian of your own pain. Become a witness to your own unfolding. Repeat this within yourself: I release the past. I release the delay. I release the fear disguised as preparation. You are done auditioning for rooms you were born to own. You are done shrinking to fit places that could not hold your becoming. You are done being grateful for crumbs when the table was always meant for you. Humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking of yourself truthfully. And the truth is, you have underestimated your strength. You have minimized your resilience. You have mislabeled your power as survival when, in reality, it was becoming. Tomorrow will not fix you. You were never broken. Tomorrow will reveal you. You were simply buried. Buried under other people's expectations. Buried under patterns that weren't yours. Buried under wounds you did not cause. Buried under premature blame. Buried under apologies for existing. You are not emerging because something found you. You are emerging because you found yourself. When a blessing comes, it will not ask you to betray your boundaries. It will not demand your silence. It will not request your suffering as payment. What aligns with destiny arrives with peace. What aligns with fear arrives with urgency. Learn the difference. And hear this: do not negotiate with anything that requires you to lower yourself to keep it. That is not connection. That is compromise. You are not here to be chosen by what cannot hold you. You are here to choose what mirrors God's intention for you. If a spiritual promise enters your life tomorrow, a conversation, an opportunity, a shift, a realization, meet it as an equal. Do not bow to it. Do not worship it. Stand with it. The blessing does not outrank you. It recognizes you. The miracle is not the event. The miracle is that you became someone capable of meeting the event. And if, at any moment tomorrow, you feel overwhelmed, place your hand on your chest and remember, readiness is not comfort. Readiness is willingness. Take one step. Breathe one breath. Make one choice that doesn't repeat the past. The universe will handle the rest. And if this message resonates, if something in you whispers, "This is speaking to me directly," honor that knowing. Not for me. For you. For your journey. For your alignment. If you feel led, You can show agreement the way people show up for themselves, by liking, by subscribing, by saying yes in the spirit. Not to feed ego, but to anchor identity. You are not a spectator to your life. You are a co-author. Now inhale softly. Exhale fully. Tomorrow is closer than you think. My beloved soul, as tomorrow approaches, you may feel memories rise like echoes. Not to haunt you, but to release you. Old rooms of your mind may open, not to trap you, but to show you what no longer has power. The past is not returning, it is exiting. Every memory surfacing right now is a suitcase being unpacked so your spirit doesn't have to carry it into the next chapter. Do not fear these flashes of what once was. They are like shadows fading behind you as you step toward the light. They are leaving because you are no longer agreeing to stay where you were wounded. There is a moment before alignment where the mind becomes loud. That moment is now. It is not proof that you are spiraling, it is proof that you are shifting. The mind screams when the soul refuses to negotiate its rebirth. Listen, but do not obey. Notice, but do not surrender. You do not need to silence your thoughts to be ready, you only need to stop worshipping them as truth. A thought is not a prophecy. A memory is not a destiny. A fear is not a command. This is where readiness becomes real, when you know the fear is present but you no longer build your life around it. Tomorrow does not require perfection from you. It only requires participation. Show up as you are. Scarred. Healing. Learning. Hopeful. Confused. Alive. There is no spiritual prize for pretending. Authenticity is not weakness, it is alignment. It tells the universe, here I am, without costume or camouflage, ready to receive what is mine. And the universe responds to truth faster than to performance. You will notice something shift in your interactions tomorrow. You will intuitively know what to respond to and what to ignore. You will feel the difference between invitations that expand you and distractions that drain you. You will sense when to speak and when silence carries more power than explanation. You will begin to trust pauses instead of panicking inside them. This is spiritual maturity, when your emotions stop driving the car and begin riding in the passenger seat while wisdom holds the wheel. Do not rush to prove that you have changed. Do not chase acknowledgement. Honor is coming, but honor must meet you, not be pursued like prey. What recognizes your value will not make you audition. What is aligned for you will not require you to beg. What is coming does not need your desperation, it needs your receptivity. Do not kneel to what cannot carry you. Stand with what matches you. There is someone, or something, that will cross your path. Not necessarily with drama, not with announcement, not with fireworks. But with recognition. A sense of I know this without having words for why. It may be a message that says exactly what you've been praying to hear. It may be a person who speaks to you like your heart deserves to be spoken to. It may be an opportunity that feels impossibly familiar. Or it may simply be a moment where your whole body understands, this is the shift. If nothing big appears tomorrow, do not assume nothing happened. Big change often enters small. A key does not need to be the size of a door to open it. Alignment does not need an audience to be real. Breakthroughs often look like ordinary days that rearrange something inside you permanently. Do not judge arrival by appearance. And if emotions come suddenly, let them. Do not swallow tears to look strong. Do not hide trembling to appear in control. You are not being asked to perform stability, you are being asked to embody truth. Strength is not stone. Strength is surrender without collapse. Strength is vulnerability without defeat. Strength is letting something leave while blessing it on its way out. What ends tomorrow is not loss. It is expiration. Anything that can depart without negotiation is something that should have never required your loyalty to survive. You are not losing what mattered. You are losing what was leaking. You are losing what was built from fear. You are losing the habits that taught you to shrink. You are losing the urge to apologize for needing peace. This loss is holy. This loss is deliverance. And listen, beloved soul, there will be a moment soon where it feels like the air changes. Where the atmosphere around you feels less heavy, like something invisible loosened its hold. When that moment comes, whether it lasts a second or an hour, treat it like confirmation. Treat it like a nod from heaven. Treat it like the first brick of a future being laid beneath your feet. That is not imagination. That is evidence. If these words feel like they are looking directly into you, if you feel seen, exposed, understood, pulled, that is not by accident. That is resonance. Spirit recognizes spirit. Your journey recognizes its next chapter. And if you feel the impulse to anchor this moment, do it. Like, save, subscribe, whisper yes, or simply breathe agreement. Not for validation, but as a declaration, I am entering alignment awake. Tomorrow is already on its way to you. What matters now is how you meet it. My beloved soul, before tomorrow arrives, there is something you must understand. Preparation is not about rearranging the outside world. It is about clearing the inside world. You could clean every room, rewrite every plan, perfect every detail, and still feel unready if your mind is carrying ghosts from chapters that have already closed. Readiness is not in what you do, it is in what you release. Tomorrow does not require a performance. It requires permission. Permission for the next version of you to step forward. Permission for the old version to rest. Permission for the divine to move through your life without obstruction. Let this settle into you gently. You are not arriving late to your purpose. You are arriving seasoned. If your journey took longer than you hoped, it is because destiny needed you educated, not rushed. A rushed blessing collapses. A prepared blessing multiplies. You were not being punished by delay, you were being protected by it. Every moment you thought was wasted has become part of your wisdom. Wisdom you will need for what comes next. You were not waiting for alignment. Alignment was waiting for you. Tomorrow is not the universe finally deciding you are worthy. It is you finally deciding you believe it. There may be a point tomorrow where the atmosphere feels different for no clear reason. You might wake and notice the morning feels more intentional. You might feel a calm that does not match what life looks like yet. You may notice something in your chest feels open, like a door was unlocked inside you while you slept. Do not dismiss this. The soul often realizes change before the mind understands it. Trust what your body knows before your logic catches up. The spirit understands arrival long before the tongue can form sentences about it. If someone reaches out to you tomorrow, listen between their words. Sometimes the message is not what is spoken, but what is implied. Sometimes the answer comes disguised as a conversation you didn't expect. Sometimes clarity arrives wrapped in something that looks ordinary. Do not underestimate the mundane. The divine hides there often. There may also be silence tomorrow, and silence is not absence. Silence is data. Silence is direction. Silence is clarity in disguise. Do not confuse quiet with nothingness. Quiet is where alignment breathes. Quiet is where decisions you once feared become obvious. Quiet is where the divine speaks without volume. If you find yourself wanting to explain yourself less, that is growth. If you feel less interested in convincing people to stay, that is growth. If you feel the need to protect your peace more fiercely, that is growth. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming clear. You are not detaching from life. You are detaching from false versions of yourself. When you stop negotiating for your worth, everything not meant for you removes itself. That is not rejection. That is relief. My beloved soul, tomorrow will not require you to fight for space. It will ask you to stand in it. Not aggressively. Not desperately. Quietly. Like someone who finally remembers they belong here. Do not dim yourself to appear humble. Do not shrink to appear harmless. Humility is knowing you are chosen without needing to brag. Strength is being powerful without needing to dominate. Confidence is remembering you are guided, protected, and aligned, without needing witnesses. If you feel pressure, pause. Pressure is not a command to act, pressure is an invitation to breathe. The heart does not race because you are unprepared. It races because something in you recognizes the size of what's next. Let the pressure be a sign, not a sentence. And if at any moment you don't know what to do, do the simplest thing. Place your hand over your chest and ask, what version of me is this moment asking for? The answer will rise. It always does. And hear this clearly, you owe no one a justification for your healing. You are allowed to forget the version of you that suffered just to be liked. You are allowed to retire the version of you that apologized for needing boundaries. You are allowed to outgrow the rooms you once begged to be invited into. You are allowed to leave the conversations that shrink you. Your evolution is not arrogance. It is alignment. When tomorrow comes, respond from identity, not insecurity. Move from clarity, not fear. Choose what matches your peace, not your wounds. And if something or someone tries to pull you back into who you used to be, let this sentence be your anchor: I am no longer available for the person I had to be to survive. If you feel led, not pressured, but led, anchor your readiness in a simple action right now. Whisper yes. Save this. Like this. Subscribe. Comment a single word of agreement. Not because you owe anyone proof, but because your spirit needs to hear itself choose. Engagement is not obligation, it is agreement. It is a declaration: I will not abandon myself on the eve of alignment. Feel your breath deepen. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel the shift beginning to take root. Tomorrow is nearer than breathing. My beloved soul, as tomorrow prepares to touch your life, understand this: destiny does not shout. It recognizes. It collects every version of you: the broken one, the brave one, the tired one, the hopeful one, and gathers them into someone whole. You are not waiting for a miracle to arrive. The miracle is waiting for you to stand as the person who can receive it. Tomorrow is not a finish line. It is a beginning where you are no longer negotiating your worth with reality. Something in the fabric of the unseen has already shifted. You are only catching up to what has been true all along. Tonight, release the habit of assuming disappointment. Release the instinct to expect the worst. Those patterns were created during survival, not destiny. You are not surviving anymore. You are transitioning. Transitions feel like endings until you realize they are doors. What feels like loss is often liberation disguised as emptiness. What feels like confusion is often clarity assembling. What feels like fear is often the edge of breakthrough, waiting for you to step forward before it takes shape. Tomorrow may present you with a moment that looks like a choice, but it is not a choice, it is recognition. You will see something and your soul will respond before your mind understands. That is alignment. Trust it. The mind tries to protect you from repetition. The soul tries to guide you into evolution. Let the soul lead. Let the mind follow. And let fear observe without speaking. You will know tomorrow's signal by the way it feels in your body. Peace will feel like permission. Calm will feel like direction. Excitement will feel like truth. If something drains, suffocates, or shrinks you, let it go without debate. You do not need a villain to validate your departure. You do not need closure to confirm your clarity. You do not need permission to choose a future that honors you. This time, you do not walk through the door begging for belonging. You walk through remembering you belong everywhere alignment lives. You may feel tenderness tomorrow, a softness in the chest, a quiver in the breath, a sudden awareness that you are not who you used to be. Accept that. You prayed for transformation, not comfort. Transformation comes quietly, like water wearing down stone, until one day the stone breaks and the river moves forward. You are the river now. You are movement. You are continuation. This is why nothing from your past can cage you unless you agree to step back inside. My beloved soul, listen carefully. If tomorrow brings a moment where you do not know what to do, do not panic. Do not retreat. Do not rush. Breathe. And ask, what would the healed version of me choose right now? Then choose it, even if your voice shakes. Even if your hands tremble. Even if your old fears scream louder than your new wisdom. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting while fear watches and realizes it no longer has authority. You do not need to be fearless to receive destiny. You only need to be willing. You will not miss what is meant for you. What is meant for you will wait at the door until you are ready. Not forever, but long enough to prove it was never random. Spiritual arrival is not luck, it is alignment. It is the universe recognizing the coordinates of your readiness and meeting you there. What comes tomorrow does not arrive to test your worth, it arrives to reflect it. And if, in the midst of all of this, you feel a pull to acknowledge this moment physically, a like, a follow, a subscription, a whispered yes, let that be your signature. Not for me. For you. For your timeline. For your alignment. Engagement is not obligation. It is agreement. A tiny act in the physical world that tells the spiritual world, I am choosing myself now. As tomorrow approaches, remember this, the universe is not doing you a favor. It is fulfilling a contract. A contract made in silence, written through pain, and signed with survival. If you are still here, it is because purpose refused to let you disappear. If you are still breathing, it is because destiny refused to release its claim on you. If you feel seen in these words, it is because heaven is speaking in a voice your soul recognizes. So when tomorrow comes, open the door, metaphorical or literal, with the steadiness of someone who has already been chosen. Stand in your space without shrinking. Listen without fear. Speak only what aligns. Walk away from anything that feels like negotiation with your old identity. You are not here to beg for a future. You are here to receive one. This is your reminder. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are being aligned. And now, as the final seal on this message, hear this. What is coming tomorrow is not coming to find you unprepared. It is coming to meet the version of you that never gave up becoming. Step forward, beloved soul. Breathe like someone who survived their becoming. Stand like someone who remembers their divinity. Receive like someone who finally understands their worth. Tomorrow is the doorway. You are the key. If your spirit agrees, if your heart recognizes this, whisper softly. I am ready. And let the universe answer.